This is a presentation of very boring investment advice from a veryboringinvestmentadvice.com. I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and we're going to give to you in this video dividend paying stocks that are going to pay dividends in the month of July. 10 listed in this video. We'll have a fuller list of about 30 stocks on a table you can download and check out yourself. And these are stocks that are going to pay some sort of dividend, expected to, unless something drastic happens, for the month of July. So in this presentation, we'll give you the ex-dividend date, the date by which you must own these stocks to get a part of a dividend, and some of the potential information along those lines, including what they may pay out and what the actual dividend yield is normally on these things. So check these things out for you, as we will give you, as always, the disclaimer for the work we do. I am not a financial advisor, so these are for education, information purposes. These are all details, things I'll do in my own research, and because I like to yak on videos and share these things and get some knowledge going forward, I want to share it with you as a way to inform you of how things work. So with that, let's get to the disclaimer, how things work for the video here and all our presentations. Content provided by Very Boring Investment Advice, including but not limited to blogs, podcasts, videos, and other materials, is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be and should not be considered financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. We are not financial advisors, and the information shared represents our opinions and research, which may not suit your specific financial situation. Any investment involving risk, including the potential loss of principal, past performance, does not guarantee future results. Before making any investment decisions, please consult with a licensed financial advisor or other qualified professional who can consider your unique financial situation and objectives. Very Boring Investment Advice assumes no responsibility or liability for any errors, inaccuracies, or omissions in the content provided. All investments are made at your own risk. Our tag: stay informed, do your own research, and remember, boring can be smart, but it always can work for you. It's always your call on how to do your investments. Now, for this video in particular, for talking about dividend stocks, dividend paying stocks, there are 3 notes to know about how we are presenting this thing to you today. Number 1, ex-dividend date, which we'll present here, is the last date to purchase a stock to be eligible for the upcoming dividend. The expected dividend amounts and payout ratios are based on historical data and may be subject to change. So if you own these stocks, keep an eye on what they're saying in your details and your words, and it will tell you kind of what's happening there. If you follow along with us and you own these stocks via the Robinhood app, they will give you some updates on what the expected dividends is. They'll tell you when the dividend is expected to be released, when you expect to actually get it into your books, and what expected to be until you actually know what it actually is as paid. And if it's paid, plus or minus, they give you exactly what they're expected based on what they're looking for. Current prices of the stocks we have for you listed are as of June the 7th, 2025, and subject to market fluctuations. So if you buy these stocks before, after today, we record this video, and before the ex-dividend date, they may go up, may go down. It's going to depend on how much of the actual stock you can own based on the current price. It should not affect the actual dividend because dividend is already baked in there going towards things. As we said, based on historical data, subject to change based on how things actually play themselves out in the actual reality of the workings of the stock themselves. Now, as I said, we have 10 stocks for you here, a full list of 30 stocks that are going to pay dividends between the 1st and the end of the month of July. The ex-dividend date is what you play for to see where you want to get in these things. If it's a stock that's worth your money, you can get into either cheaply or something you want to get into. You should get into these things as quickly as you can. Let's start off first batch of stocks we have here. Very simple. In these 5 listed, we have Coca-Cola, ticker symbol KO, trading on the New York Stock Exchange. It has an ex-dividend date of the 13th of June, 2025. That means today is the 7th. You've got 6 days to get into this one for that day. If you own it by that day, it will pay your dividend out on the 1st of July, where it's expected to be about 51 cents per share. Currently, Coca-Cola is selling at $71.35. $71.35. I don't know what that 0.35 was. So if you want to get a share of Coke or you want to get fractional shares, $71.35 today, if you buy it on the Saturday, will get you about 51 cents per dividend per share going forward. Now, going next to a big hot stock, Nvidia, which has been hot for quite some time, for months, as it was the showcase of all stocks preventing for AI chips. And then the tariffs came in, so the price has been back and forth and back and forth. If you got in on Nvidia early, but trading on the NASDAQ, you got in on big on this technology. I got in this on the tail end of the growth. Now it's on maintaining level for me. It's going to have an ex-dividend date of the 14th of June. So that means 7 days from now, you have to get in on this one. It will pay its dividend out on the 3rd of July. It's expected to pay about 4 cents per share, which doesn't seem like a lot. Of course, the price of the stock is right now at $950 per share. So it's a pretty high owning stock. This is something you're owning for the fact that you want to get more out of it than just the dividend. But if you want to get something that's hot that may actually gain in its price, the back and forth right now and the dividend expected is coming down basically because of the tariffs and what the prices are on the chips and not knowing exactly who we can sell these chips to and why we can't sell these chips to people. You will see, you will learn as you go back and forth and going deeper into the research for your stocks that these things change, go back and forth. Something like technology, something like these chips are a really big deal. So we will see how this plays out. Next one is something that we're all dealing with right now. I have some specific things with Home Depot, so they're definitely on my radar. Not in my portfolio, but on my radar. Home Depot is sold on the New York Stock Exchange. It is going to have an ex-dividend date of the 15th of June. And on the 15th of July, it will pay out its dividend, expected to be $2.09 per share. Pretty good share size, pretty good dividend size for shares that are worth $367.33 today. So as we looked before in Nvidia, those shares are almost $1,000 a share, and you're only getting about 5 cents a share. This one is going to be a much better, $367 with the rounding errors, and going to get you about $2 a share. So if you're a big holder in Home Depot, you'll get a big chunk of shares or money back going forward to it. Now, what I do with my dividends is basically they all get reinvested, so I get more shares from that. That's where the free money comes from. You don't get much if you have 10 shares of Home Depot to get back $10 and $10.50. That's not what you're getting out of this one, although it could be nice if you have many shares in this one. The best way to play these dividends are to basically reinvest them so you get smaller increments going forward. But as you go on, they pay higher in dividends, you get more there. It's how interest works, essentially. Dividends work, more dividends, more shares, more you can get out of that. Let's go to UPS. The United Parcel Services may be more of a legacy stock, but it's still out there doing what it's doing, and it's helping you get those Amazon packages back and forth. It has a ex-dividend rate of the 15th of June. So if you buy in by then, you get in for a 15th of July payout, which is expected to be about $1.62 per share, which is better off because the current price of UPS is $98.25. So under $100 to get yourself $1.62 in shares for dividends expected coming forward. Now, as we said, these are expected based off what they had in their history, how things have paid out lately, and how they like to pay things out. We will see if they meet their expectations and if they actually pay out around that number, or sometimes a little better, sometimes a little worse, sometimes a lot better, sometimes a lot worse. Wrapping up on this first five, and there's no particular order other than the fact that their ex-dividend dates kind of lined up this way. So these are some of the ones based on the dates we pulled that are in this order. Nothing special about them in particular, just interesting ones. 3M. MMM on the stock exchange. 3M Corporation is selling on the New York Stock Exchange. It will give a dividend of $1.50 with an ex-dividend date of the 15th of June as well. So it pays out its dividend also on the 15th of July. Its shares are $145.50 at the moment on this Saturday the 7th. So get in before the 15th and you can get about a $1.50 per share expected to be the dividend to pay on that dividend on that stock. Let's move on to the next five so you can see what else is out there. Just in case these five don't catch your attention, these five right here may be something that'd be bigger. And these all have a ex-dividend date of the 15th of June. There are some in this long list you'll see inside of the listing. You'll get to this that have a later ex-dividend date. These are just some of the bigger ones that seem like ones that people would look out to and gravitate to. Northrop Grumman, also on the New York Stock Exchange, has an ex-dividend date set of 15th of June. These all will pay out on the 15th of July as well. Its expected dividend is $1.45 with a price currently at $489 $2.41. Not too bad for the payout. If you're a big holder of Northrop Grumman, if you hold it for a while, you know this is one that is always in play because they build parts for planes, they build parts for tanks, they build parts for all sorts of industrial materials, and they are always in play with what's going on. They are also dealing with some of the tariff issues as what they build, where they build it, where it's shipped to, what it goes into. It becomes an issue, especially since a lot of their instrumental things go into things like private planes and things like that, and also large planes as well. Although a very solid stock, tariffs are an issue for everyone right now. We should see how this plays out. $1.45 per share. A dividend is a nice expansion. The big thing is the shares are almost $500 each. Caterpillar does a little bit better for this one. CAT on the New York Stock Exchange, also delivering on a 15th of June ex-dividend date and a 15th July payment date. Will pay about $1.20 per share, with its shares right now trading at $353.35. Still a little high on the rate there. We actually had to listen to that. We'll give you a payout ratio in the future times. I guess we missed that in this actual playout, but you'll get that much as your expected dividend from here going forward. FedEx, we talked about UPS. How's FedEx compared to them? They're going to pay you about $1.15 per share. Their shares are currently priced at $219.61. So you can bet your dollars on which ones you want to get into, which one of these travel companies, or these delivery companies will do better for you. Whether you think FedEx or UPS have a better future, whether you think they'll rise or fall, whether the fact that UPS was a cheaper stock, so more stock at the same price, and whether the dividend is good for you with its details. The real details being the ex-dividend date and the payment date of 15th of June and the 15th of July. Tech stock, really communication services, and this is Verizon. They are VZ on the New York Stock Exchange. They are going to provide for you same dates as all five on this slide. 15 June for ex-dividend and 15 July for payment date. They're going to give you only 65 cents per share on your dividend expected. Current price for shares are $43.80, $42.80 on those markets. So this is a much lower priced one, and this is one that has plenty of place to rise. I actually own a good chunk of Verizon in my portfolio, and so this is one that since I purchased it within the last 9 months, I've been extremely happy with its performance. Trying to get into more diversified stuff and get into more things that are communication services, tech stuff, things that are your phones, your tablets, things that you chat with, because I want to get into that one. This was a lower price stock for me to get into. It has risen a bit since I got it, so I'm enjoying the fact that it is gaining money there, and any dividend it gives to me is an awesome bonus because it adds to that layout that I have. Obviously, you're not going to gain full shares with 65 cents of dividends and the shares costing 43 cents, but all the fractions add up piece by piece. Finally, one more company that is actually dealing with airplanes, and it is Boeing Company. Boeing has some issues. Boeing has some serious issues, but Boeing is still expected to pay out a dividend. They're not expected to lose too much in the back and forth they've had. Expected to be a dividend about 50 cents going forward. And its current price, $210.80 for the stock. Not too bad. Not too bad. Ex-dividend date, of course, as you said, 15th of June, 2025, and 15th of July, 2025 for the payment date. That means that if you own the stock by the ex-dividend date, you pay in money into the market and you own whatever amount at that day. That's the day is the cutoff. They basically count out how many shares you have, how much you get per share in dividend when the time comes for payment, and then they'll give you that amount. Now, from there, it's your choice to what to do. Do you want to actually add on to your shares, make it more shares and reinvest them into that stock, or cash them out directly? Maybe you want to cash them into your market plan and then buy other stocks from the dividends and add that to what's going there. Or you have something like Robinhood and you put it into your savings account as opposed to your investment account, and it earns extra interest. It's all free money, if you will, or earn money based on what you have going on. So it's up to you to decide how you want to deal with your dividends and if dividends is what you're looking for. Some people are looking straight at growth. I like growth. I like things that are going to grow slowly because even though I'm at 50 years old and I don't have too much further from thinking about retirement, I'm sure I'll never actually do it, but it's one of those things that you're thinking about the timeline you have, thinking about what you have left to do, and what will you do to manage it. You want as much money as possible, and you want the markets to be as stable as possible, hopefully on the ups when you're getting there. In this case, we're talking dividend paying stocks. One of the main parts of my actual philosophy on stocks. Go to the website veryboringinvestmentadvice.com, and you will see a listing of what my philosophy is, how I do things going forward. As I said in the disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not making money off selling you any stocks, so don't buy these because I'm telling you to buy them. Buy these because you feel like these sort of stocks are ones you want into your portfolio, and you want to get what's going to get through in dividend. Now, we have a link in the video here, and also we'll have the link on the website as well for the dividend stocks. I guess one for the video to have it on the page as well, and also for the dividend stocks for the full listing that we have to give you 30 stocks that will pay dividends in the month of July. They are not the only 30 stocks. They're just, in our research, we're basically rounding it down to 30, and if we can get up to 30, some months are actually less based on what's going on. But on our master list of stocks that are being traded on both these exchanges, New York Stock Exchange and of course the NASDAQ, what we're seeing is of the almost 6,000 stocks that are listed, there should be something out there looking for you, and they may not always be one of the big boys like these right here. There may be something a bit smaller. I like buying dividend stocks of smaller, more regional type deals because I like them. I can get more out of them in the dividends, even if they're not earning as much money or the prices they do. It's what happens there. So we're looking for you to get engaged. Check out the website. I'm sorry, it's the wrong website. The website, veryboringinvestmentadvice.com. Reply back in the comments what you got going on. Email me directly right now at jclevelandpayne@gmail.com. I don't have a Very Boring Investment Advice email address at the moment. We'll get on that one right now. We are growing with this platform. We are learning how to present these things, and we're trying to essentially get more of the more better media stuff going. And we think something that's extremely engaging, something extremely knowledgeable is dealing with this money stuff here, because money is something we always deal with. So at the website specifically, you will see articles on savings and investings. You will see 5 days a week, a listing of 6 stocks in the morning to maybe look into, but that may not be on your radar, that you may want to engage in and see if it's something you want to add or maybe take down because you actually own it. And every day we do a market action wrap up, what happened on the day, with some of the bigger gains, the bigger losses, and some stocks that has a lot of volatility in its actual trading in the day. On the weekend, on Saturday, we give you a weekly wrap-up, which tells you how all of the indexes close, plus a big rundown of the market itself, and 5 stocks that made an impact on the week, whether they did good, did bad, or something that just came out of nowhere, maybe a brand new IPO that went bonkers on that week, and that's there as well. The IPO market is now a greater thing as well, and you can see more IPOs being listed on your Robinhood app, so you have access to IPOs as well as trading ETFs, trading crypto, trading stocks, and all the things there. Check out our link for that one at veryboringbusinessadvice.com/Robinhood. Veryboringbusinessadvice.com/Robinhood, and use that platform to do more trades. If you enjoyed those trades, let us know. You still get a free stock from joining in Robinhood, but this is a way to get more control over your money, over your market contact. Now, as I said, anytime you're making a trade in the markets, there's a chance of a loss. It's not all magic. It doesn't go straight to the moon. It is what it is. But this also is what it is, or I should say was what it was, for our very first shot at dividend paying stocks for the month of July. So if you're looking to expand your portfolio and see some things that you might want to get into right now, dividend paying stocks is a great way to do that. Check them out. You know the dates. You have some you have about a couple days to, and some you have about a week or so to, and that's just what we have here. Check out the listing in the video, and check out the listing at the website that will have 30 stocks for the full month to get into. Maybe these 10 aren't ones that are going to fight your fancy. Maybe the other 20 may be something there. Plus, we updated the research on it that has a bit more research in the spreadsheet. Next month we'll have that here along with the PE yield, things like that, and we'll explain more things there. This is all for learning. This is all for growth. This is all about getting in getting in early, buying low, selling high, finding stocks that mean something to you, finding stocks that will make money for you, and mitigating the ones that aren't doing as great for you so that you can have greater investments, because it's about investing and growing and not about watching money go down. Thank you so much for joining us for this project, this production from Very Boring Investment Advice, another project from More Better Media LLC. We will come back, of course, every day with more content. And of course, next month, sometime early in the month, we'll give you some dividend paying stocks that will pay out in the month of August to get you prepared for those.